evening, everyone. My name is Oluwakim Owatunde, and I just wanted to show you guys my final R project real quick, and just walk you through my thought process, what I did. Prior to this, I didn't have any R experience, so when I say beginner, I mean that in the truest sense of the word. And because of that, I decided to go ahead and just use the data that was given to us by the professor. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and installed the package, which I did by going to the packages menu over here and just clicking install. And I typed in the package, clicked install, and it was installed. And then before I could do anything, I had to indicate that that was the library that I wanted this project to pull information from. I kind of wanted to see what we were working with, so I went ahead with the head function, and that just gave me all the columns that we had with their names, and it showed the first few rows of that. And then I wanted to create a subset of the columns because I realized that I wouldn't need things like canceled or cancellation code or any of that. So I ended up just using about, I think, 10 columns. Initially, I didn't include the unique carrier. It wasn't until after I decided what my big question was going to be, and I realized that I needed the unique carrier one. And then I went back and changed this 7 from a 6 to a 7. And then I just added, all that together, and I got my subset, all the parts that I set the columns equal to, and I got my subset. And then this right here just gives us some information about the subset that I created. The summary is really it gives you a lot of information. For things like year or month, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. It doesn't really give you any information. But for things like distance or actual elapsed time or air time, it does give you information. It gives you the average air time of all those flights. And you can see here, the next thing I did was I decided to add a speed column, and I just did this by setting speed miles a minute to the distance divided by the actual elapsed time. And then I just used the cbind function again and attached it to our Houston flights, and now I named it Houston F. So for the rest of the program, we're going to be using Houston F. So if you go back to our initial set of data, you will see that under the month and the days of the week, it's numeric. So one of the things I did was I changed it from numeric to alphabetic. So now instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, January, February, March, April, and so on. So this is what it looks like now. Let me see after I do the final. So this is what it looks like. You have January, and then you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday instead. And as you can see, once again, our speed miles minute column that we added. So this is, me doing graphic things. I did some box plots. I did some line graphs. But my big question to answer was which airline was on average the fastest and which one was on average the slowest. So, I created subsets for each airline, and then I just did the summary of those subsets, and I was able to visually just see which had the highest mean and the lowest mean using the summary function. And then I went ahead and I graphed the distance and time for each airline to compare, and this function actually color-coded and it made a legend for me, which is great. It's just I honestly couldn't figure out how to kind of make it bigger, this is why I need a mouse. I couldn't figure out how to, I'll show you in a moment when we see how to kind of make it bigger so that you could see where the lines differ more. But you can see a few things from this. You can see that the CO, airline CO, is the only one that goes, 1,500 miles and further, You can see that they kind of have the same pattern. I would say that the lines have, on average, about the same slope. They don't differ too much, so you can say that the speed on average is about the same. But what we actually found out when we did this, use the summary function, is that AA, which I would assume is American Airlines, is the slowest on average, and AS is the fastest. This has been an experience, I will tell you that much. This has been an experience, and I really appreciate, I appreciate the fact that pretty much everything that I've learned, I'm able to go to work the next day and use at work and use it to implement something that makes my work, smoother. So, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.